Hi, my name is Karen and I'm with CK Customs PA. Today I'm going to show you how to retack a Cricut cutting mat. I have with me today a light grip Cricut cutting mat that doesn't have much tack left to it. Let me show you what we're going to use. I have my Goo Gone, I have Dawn dish soap, I have painter's tape, I have wet wipes, and lastly I have my sponge and tack it over and over. This is all you will need to retack one of your Cricut cutting mats. Alright, we're going to go ahead and change the angle of the camera so you have the best view possible while we go through this process. Okay, now that we've switched angles, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to begin with my Goo Gone, spraying it generously on my card mat. Again, this card mat does not have much tack left to it, and the intention here is to get all the remaining tack off of the mat. I do go pretty generously with my Goo Gone. I will let it sit for a moment while I grab one of my wet wipes. Now that I've applied the Goo Gone, I'll give it a minute or two to kind of work itself in, but I'm also going to lightly start to spread it over the rest of the mat. I'm not putting any weight into this right now. I'm actually spreading it so that the parts that weren't sprayed are getting some Goo Gone on them. I'm going to go ahead and throw away that wipe and grab another. I do go through a lot of these as well. Alright, I'm going to begin putting a little pressure and circularly rubbing on the mat to remove the tack that is still there. I can still see some of my Goo Gone being moved around. I'll go over it a few times to continue trying to get all the tack off my mat. I am applying a good amount of pressure as I do this, and when the wipe is covered in Goo Gone, I just discard it and move to a new wipe. Okay, once you feel that all the Goo Gone is gone and the tack seems to be gone, you want to take your mat to the sink and rinse it with your Dawn dish soap. I have a mat that I've already done that to, so I'm going to go ahead and switch to my mat that has been cleaned and dried with Dawn dish soap. At this point, we are ready to begin the retacking process. I use my painter's tape to both tape down my mat to the table as well as create defined lines within the grid on the mat. So I'm carefully lining up to the edge of my grid lines on my mat. And then also intentionally taping down to the table to prevent the mat from moving as I'm spreading the glue around. You'll want to do all four sides because even though with only two sides the mat wouldn't move, I still need that guideline along the edge of the grid to not have tack outside of your grid. Okay, go ahead and grab my tack it over and over and apply it right onto the mat. and use my sponge brush to, in one direction, begin to spread the glue. I go over the edges where my blue tape is, and then I'm going to do the opposite direction, so from myself and outward. Alright, at this point you just need to relax and let it dry for about 5 to 8 minutes. Okay, it has been about 8 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and begin testing to see if it is dry. I'll start around the edge on my blue painter's tape, filling where the glue had gone over the mat onto the tape. It is tacky, but not on my finger. I'm going to also go along the other side where the brush was repeatedly pressing. Okay, I think we are dry enough to go ahead and pull the painter's tape off. After that, you'll probably want it to cure for another few minutes before you use it. But other than that, your mat has been retacked. I can see a nice sheen on it. And you want to make sure you continue to use your mat covers when storing your mats. Alright, I don't know if you can see the sheen in the camera, but it is definitely retacked. I'd say this is about as tacky as it was when I first got it. And then once it's no longer tacky, you can just repeat the process and get several uses out of the same cutting mat. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed learning how to retack your Cricut cutting mats. My name is Karen, again with CK Customs PA. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.